Hello, welcome to 1995batman.com. Today we are going to have a little break from Batman and we're going to look at some other stuff. We're going to be looking at some of the Lost in Space figures from the 1998 film, which, it's a film that sort of came and went. No one really liked it a whole lot. I kind of enjoyed it. I've got to say I've got no kind of frame of reference to the original TV show. I just took it as kind of like a space adventure kind of for young kids, and I thought it was pretty fun. And it had like some cool designs and stuff. I like the story. I like the kind of the time bubble thing where he kind of meets his dad meets his kind of grown-up son and stuff, and the whole kind of like early CGI and stuff. It was kind of looked kind of naff back then. I got a bit of nostalgia for that kind of stuff nowadays. So anyway, let's have a look at the first few bits that I've got, because I picked up a whole bunch of stuff on eBay recently, because it's a movie that I really liked. And I really liked the production design. I thought the production design was pretty cool. Obviously the film was written by Akiva Goldsman, who also did Batman Forever, and co-wrote Batman Forever, and wrote Batman and Robin. So it's got a kind of, it feels kind of that kind of ilk, kind of, late 90s, overblown, rubber costumes, lots of busy stuff going on. So yeah, let's have a look at some of the figures. First up, we'll have a look at the Applause stuff. Applause, who I'm obviously reviewing a lot of stuff about Batman Forever. They did just the very basic kind of statues. So we've got Blarp, we have Major Don West in his uniform, we have the robot, and we've got the rebuilt robot, and we have Dr. Smith. I'll just get in a bit closer so we can have a little closer look at those. Yeah, so as you can see, they're pretty basic kind of plastic models. The Dr. Smith in particular is a little kind of like, obviously they don't want to have the head kind of drooping around, so they've kind of bent it back over itself. And the paintwork's pretty basic. It's literally just a blue figure with some little white dots. White dots for eyes, white dots down the arms and stuff. But it's kind of cool. Next we've got the robot. Again, very basic kind of paintwork and stuff. Nothing moves. These are all kind of plastic kind of statues. Obviously it's bent a little bit. Oh, over the years these are like 20, 21 years old. So yeah, they're looking okay for how they were. And we've got Blarp, obviously, who is the one where I think everyone felt at the time, yeah, this is what they want to make a toy out of, and they did. So that's a cool figure. And we got the Don West, kind of actually some okay-ish paintwork on there, kind of spider on the back, spiders climbing up his legs, kind of replicating that scene from the movie where they get on board the, oh god, what was the ship called? Proteus, maybe? Yeah, and then we've got the original robot, the thing that Will Robinson pilots. Kind of cool, obviously bent down so it can make it in scale with all the others. But yeah, it's not too bad. I picked them up pretty cheap. In fact, really, really cheap. We'll go on to the actual proper action figures from Trendmasters now. Right, so the figures. Now, these are all loose, so I'm not entirely sure which ones go with which, but we have the oh god, what was his name? John Robinson, the dad, who's got a helmet on. Just take that off. Pretty terrible. Oh, do not stand very well, because they have this very kind of like bent leg thing going on. Not a great William Hurt likeness, but anyway, yeah, he is not going to stand up. I'm just going to have to. He's going to fall open over the second that I let go of him. Okay, next up we've got everyone's favourite Joey Tribbiani, Major Don West. Let's just move him out of the way. Major Don West, who's got this huge blaster. Kind of there's 5 points, no, yeah, 5 points of articulation for everything. Kind of, the usual shoulders, legs and head. This hasn't really worked very well. This helmet looks so cool in the movie. It looks so naff action figure form. Let's just take his helmet off. But they're all wearing this kind of black costume. Obviously the same kind of thing with their kind of... Actually, now I look at it, is that spiders or is that just part of his uniform? I think that's just part of his uniform, isn't it? Sorry, I thought there was a spider to begin with going up his legs and arms and stuff, but I guess not. Yep, so the arm is kind of permanently bent. That's kind of cool though. I kind of like that he's kind of, you know, able to kind of look out. Actually, does his waist go? Yeah, there's 6. His waist goes, but it's... I'm not really familiar with Trendmasters. I don't really like this. The waist bends as well, so it's 6 points of articulation. But yeah, just look at that. That's kind of weird when you actually want to turn him, so it doesn't look right. Let's put him to one side. The one female character, again in a really strange pose, is Judy Robinson, played by Heather Graham. I guess they wanted one female character. And we've also, I think Blarp comes with her, and there's a whole bunch of other kind of accessories. I think this comes with her, which is some kind of weird kind of, yeah, space thingamajig. No helmet with her, obviously she's in just the general suit. Humongous breasts, but then, you know, that was the outfits that they wore. It gave them really accentuated body parts. The waist kind of twists quite high. It's really, again, not a great likeness. But the eyes, you know, they have actually... Just focus a little bit. They have actually given her like proper eyes with kind of irises and stuff, so you know, I'll give them points for that. But the arms and just the pose, I don't know why she has to pose with her one leg out. Anyway, let's put her to one side. And then we've got 2 Dr. Smiths. We've got just general Dr. Smith with a blaster, and can't quite remember what else he comes with, to be honest. I guess maybe he came with that as well. I don't know. Like I say, I got these all loose, so it's a bit confusing as to what goes with what. So yeah, that's your kind of usual Dr. Smith. Huge pile of bodies over here. And then we've also got a Proteus Dr. Smith. Now a lot of these figures came with these little magnetic spiders that kind of, there's magnets obviously inside the figures, so you can actually stick them to the figures, which is kind of cool. I like that feature. It's you know, they've actually thought about it. Again, helmet comes off. I think he has the exact same body. Yeah, it looked pretty much the exact same body as Dr. Robinson, John Robinson. So put that to one side, kind of backpack on the back. Does that come off? Yeah, it does come off. Oh, that's cool. Never noticed that before. Again, kind of just, what is going on with those legs? At least this one stands up. Again, terrible likeness of Gary Oldman. Oh, and actually, sorry, there's one more. I think that must have gone with... yeah, maybe that went with him. Little, oh, firing missile thing. Yeah, of course, there is one more in this pod. It is... Oh, once it gets opened, not going to open. It's little Will Robinson, which is kind of cool. It's a to-scale kid. You don't really get... I mean, he seems really small there. He should not be... Should be more up here, I think. Anyway, yeah, tiny Will Robinson. And he has... I know he has this thing, which is first prize, because obviously, you know, scientific genius. I don't think this pod does anything else. I think it just closes up and keeps him in. And what else? I think it comes with this, which goes with the robot. It's a little kind of device for sticking in the robot, which I'll show you later on. And then what else came with it? And there's another one of these, which I think went with Judy Robinson. And there's a whole bunch of spiders, which you can stick over people. Ah! Ah! Yeah, so that's that. What else have we got? Ooh, of course, at the very end of the film there is Dr. Smith gets transformed into a horrible kind of spidery monster. So of course they made a figure out of that, which is lunging towards the camera. Yeah, so he's got this, his legs kind of bend here and here, and then he's able to just kind of stand up. He's got kind of double arms, forearms, and the head, I think, yeah, has got some kind of like metal wiring inside, so you can bend it in kind of unusual directions. And then I think he still talks. Oh, the pain, yes. And then I think this is right. Some of these, some of these spiders are able to stick onto him, and then he has a feature. I'm sure there was a feature. Yeah. So there's a little switch at the back that goes back and forth, and then I think the idea is you can put the spiders on him, and the little switch kind of switches the magnet around his body. Doesn't work that well, if I'm honest. There you go. So the spider's on him, and you pull the switch at the back. Oh, and the spider drops off. I think it's meant to make the spider sort of crawl all over him, but it does not work very well. Yeah, that's not going to work. Maybe it's these grey ones. Aha, yeah, these are a bit better. Alright, let's have a go with this. Maybe I'm doing it too roughly. Yes, yes, there you go. Slight movement. So yeah, there's just kind of like a magnet inside, and you can move them over his body, which is kind of cool. Right, is that it? No, of course not. Let's move all this to one side. Oh, the pain. Because they also did the robot. So I have the battle damage robot, which has wheels on the bottom, so you can wheel him in and out. And then you also use this little device from the Will Robinson figure, and it slots in, is it here? I can't remember now. It slots in somewhere, which means you can take the robot apart. I know there's this, you can switch the robot down, and then you can the button at the front, obviously. Oh,
Protect Robinson family.
Protect Robinson family. This is going pretty well for a 21-year-old toy.
Protect Robinson family.
Protect Robinson family. And burp, burp, burp. Right, but I'm sure he does something else. Let's have a little look. Right, after a brief look at the manual, apparently you push this down to make him pop up, and then also here, you use this here to prise the robot apart, and take all these bits off, you stick that in there, and then you have the rebuilt robot from the second half of the movie, which is kind of cool. I kind of like that. It's a neat little idea. Oh, yeah, it's tough, but yeah, that kind of works. Yeah, that's kind of fun.
Protect Robinson family.
I like that a lot. Right, is that everything? No, there's more. Because we also have this. The Jupiter 2. I'm running out of space. Alright, let's move back a little bit. The Jupiter 2. Which, although fitted the whole family in, at this point only fits one person in, so let's put in Don. That makes sense. Close that up. Yes, and he just about fits in. And then it's got a whole bunch of buttons, which I can't remember what they do, so let's press them and find out. This pops off here. Pop. Actually, I think, yeah, there's a magnet on the back. So I think actually it came with a whole bunch of spider figures. And I think what you do is, where are they? I think what you're meant to do is kind of stick one of the spiders, or maybe one of these smaller ones is a bit easier. Stick one of these spiders to here. Okay, let's have another go. Stick one of these spiders to here. Okay, let's have another go. Stick one of these spiders to here. Then you press the button. Pop! It pops off. And that's kind of the spider eating the thing. Then you've got this button which makes the hyperdrive come out. Oh! That's good. That's satisfying. Kind of pops out of kind of all sides and the back. Then you have the noise buttons.
Hyperdrive engaged.
Hyperdrive engaged. A few different kind of options there. What's this? Oh! Something there. I don't know what that's for, if I'm honest. Just kind of, I don't know. Interesting. I'll have to find out what that one does. And underneath you've got, oh, it's just quite cool. You keep all your missiles here. There's two types of missiles. One's with black dots and one's with white dots. Because you've got two different things. You've got this missiles here, where you put the black dot ones in. And then you've got this one here, where you put the white dot ones in. You can stick them. It's going to go in the right way. Yes, there we go. And then you press that button. Nope, it doesn't want to work.
Hyperdrive engaged.
And I've got a missile stuck. Ah, boy. Okay, well, that was the Jupiter 2. Right, and the very last thing is... you remember that cool ship that Matt LeBlanc flies at the beginning of the movie and then is never seen again? Obviously, that was also made so that you can make a toy. And what they've done is they scaled it right down and done a tiny little Matt LeBlanc figure in the middle. So let's just get that in there. Okay, so we've got a few different sounds. The sound button's this one. Target launched, and a couple of LED lights lighting up. You got three noises there. Obviously, it comes off the stand, and the actual kind of pilot there is in a gyrosphere, so you can tilt it the way it was shown in the movie. It's kind of like a B-wing, really, from Star Wars: Return of the Jedi. And then you got a missile on the bottom, which, there we go, and you got a missile at the top. There you go, very satisfying. And then you can open this and take your little Don West figure out. And he's got his little gun there. But yeah, it's weird that they didn't do anything else in this scale, because I would have thought it would have made much more sense to make a Jupiter 2 and have a bunch of figures this size, and then you could have the whole Robinson family. But they chose to make them this size because, well, yeah, I guess more kids play with kind of this size figure. But anyway, that is all my Lost in Space stuff. I picked up on eBay for an absolute steal. I think I got the whole lot for about 10 quid, just because, let's face it, no one is going to buy this stuff. I like buying the stuff that no one buys. I find like all this old kind of 90s action figure stuff just really nostalgic, and like I say, I really, just remembered another feature from this when I was putting Matt LeBlanc in. You can press that and actually detach that, which I think happened in the film. I think one of the characters detached themselves. So yeah, you've got that as well. Click that back in. Doesn't fire out like a missile, just detaches. Anyway, that is all the Lost in Space stuff I have. Yeah, that's Lost in Space. Mostly by Trendmasters with the little plastic figures at the start from Applause. If you're a fan of the movie, I would suggest getting some of it. It's pretty fun. I mean, yes, the figures are kind of weird looking, don't look anything like the characters really, but the costumes are pretty accurate. You know, I'm sort of fascinated by the articulation because I'm so used to Kenner figures. It's kind of a novelty having some Trendmaster stuff. Trendmasters also did, what did they do? Godzilla, Extreme Ghostbusters. I think I've got some Godzilla stuff. Wouldn't mind getting some more Godzilla stuff at some point. But yeah, that is Lost in Space. If you haven't watched the film in a while, watch it. It's actually not that bad.